guys, it's Daniel Richardson.
Dylan Schumacher.
We're talking to you today about a couple of Serpa holsters.
So first, let's just address the controversy here, okay? Because there's a lot of hot controversy about the Serpas. So here's the argument, okay?
So,
on this Serpa holster, you have to use your trigger finger to activate that. Now, the argument is you can accidentally pull the trigger. We would argue that's a training issue. Okay?
Absolutely, there's no doubt.
Are there better holsters in the Serpa? Yes. Is the Serpa a piece of garbage? No.
It doesn't cause... If you come from here with your finger pushing this, let's say you push at it like this instead of keeping your finger straight down, then your finger somehow ends up in the trigger guard. That's your fault, dude. I'm sorry. That's your fault. This is designed perfectly so that your finger rests straight. So as you pull the gun out, what do you know? My finger's off the trigger. Okay?
So that's the way to work a Serpa holster in case you're confused.
If you're doing this, you're a moron. And you probably shouldn't be shooting guns.
Okay, so they come in, we got basically 3 different versions. Here's the no retention version, right? So this is just basically a holster that holds your gun if you just want to go to the range and have some... you could conceal this, I guess, but other than that, we're not going to spend a lot of time there.
If you're not concealing it, you should have retention.
Yeah.
That's our opinion.
Yeah, and it's 20-some bucks. It's not an expensive piece of work. Why don't you start with the level 2?
Yeah, level 2. So really, there's just this button here, right? And like we already covered, your finger goes on the side. The gun comes out. My finger's on the trigger. Or off the trigger, sorry.
Yeah.
Against the slide, right? So that's perfect. It's very intuitive. Your hand naturally comes down here. And if you're good at keeping your finger off the trigger, it's going to work out perfectly for you. It's an incredibly fast draw. We love it. I don't think that this is enough retention to open carry. I wouldn't recommend doing this. I think you should have at least a hood. Yep. But this is my suit holster, so when I'm wearing a suit and have my jacket on, I'll throw this on underneath, and it's very concealable. Not as much as some other ones, but I mean, look at how thin this is, right? It's concealable. It's got some retention still, and it's a very fast draw. I love this holster.
It rides really tight to your body, like you said.
It does.
I mean, because this is so slim versus... Where's your Safari Land?
Yeah,
for comparison.
Oh, I have it on.
Okay, well, we'll show that later. So, basically, because this is so slim, it rides really tight to your body. I mean, it's going to stick tight in there, which is great for concealment. You know, on the back here, you can adjust it for cant. Never done that. We're straight draw guys. We don't...
Or throw a paddle on there, too.
Or throw a paddle, like if you wanted to swap this out.
I've never used the paddle.
This is more comfortable, but it doesn't... Just don't, okay? Just don't use it.
Yeah.
You want belt loops. That said, I will say one of the weak points of the Serpa is these things are tiny. They're really skinny, and you can get some torque on there.
Yeah, they're not extremely sturdy.
You know, so that's something that could break and fail on this holster. Those are the big things about the Serpa. But again, to be honest, we did open carry with these for a while before we upgraded to Safari Land, and at this point we're just not as big a fan of them because there's something so much better out there for open carry.
But again, a time and a place. So if this is a outside the waistband concealed option for you, I think it's a fantastic one. It'd probably be my #1 pick, to be honest.
Sure.
So if that's your goal, outside the waistband concealed, I would highly recommend this holster.
Sure. Now, moving up to level 3, okay? So the Mix is level 3. You still got that retention right here, but then this one also has a thumb activation point, all right? So this is, you got to do 2 things, right? So in order to draw this gun, I have to push down with my thumb here, I have to push my finger here, and then the gun is going to come out of the holster. So this is obviously on a duty belt setup, right? We had a buddy who used to do armed security, for companies that transfer money between ATMs and whatever. So he wore this every day. But again, it's got that level 3, which is nice. The thing I really like about this holster, and someone's not going to like this, but we use this holster to train new shooters. And the reason is because it forces you to get that high tang grip on that gun. If you don't get a high tang grip on this gun, you're gonna have a really tough and awkward time getting this gun out of the holster. It really forces you to drive your hand all the way in there, and when you do that, your thumb naturally goes to release that hood. And then, again, your finger's going to come around right where it should be, and you're going to draw that gun out.
Right. So, I mean, for new students especially, keep an eye out on this part right here, and just make sure that their finger's straight. But honestly, it trains them to keep their finger off the trigger.
It does. And, you know, someone's going to panic about that. But honestly,
that's your problem.
We've had really good success with training people to get a perfect grip out of the holster because of these retention devices. Not in spite of them, because of them. So big fan of that for training.
Now, my gripe with this holster is, I mean, and we already did a video on the Safariland, so watch that. But this hood is activated by the little thumb button here, right? I don't think that is incredibly secure.
No.
And if you know how to push this button and get the gun out, it wouldn't be that hard to steal this from somebody else.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. It's probably still going to be hard, but it's not like a hood and an ALS that's going to protect your gun way more than this.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that this is the paramount of security in a holster.
I wouldn't either.
By any means.
We would say, look, Safariland is a better level 3 than this. So if you're looking for something like that for duty or open carry, we'd say go there first. However, we just wanted to show you the whole Serpa lineup here so you see what's going on.
Absolutely.
If there's one you're going to get, we'd say to get this for concealed outside the waistband.
Right.
That's fine if you want that retention. If not, just get a Kydex holster. That's no problem. But this, and the great thing about these guys is, let's be honest, they're cheap. I think this is like $20-$30 compared to a Kydex. You're gonna be paying $50-$60.
Yeah, like a Safariland, that's gonna.
Oh, and that's gonna run your way.
130.
Yeah. So, again, it's just kind of if you're looking for a budget-friendly retention device, yeah, look, you can get by with this, right? If you have to buy something for your job, and you just need something that you can afford right now, well, hey, that's fine. I'd still try to push you up that ladder to Safariland, but this is functional and it works and they're safe and
I'm not as hot about this one as you.
Sure.
I personally would tell you to try and shy away from that one, save up the cash. But this one is fantastic for concealment.
I don't remember the price on this, but it might be like $100. And if that's the case, just forget it, guys. Just get the Safariland.
I'm out. You?
That's it. Yeah, the only other thing is, you notice when we're big fans of carrying lights on our guns these days, you can't do that with these.
Right.
Safariland makes one you can, which is great. But with Blackhawk, they also make light holsters, but I think they're more awkward.
Yeah.
And the light ones I've seen only have a thumb. They lose the 4-finger grip, which I don't like. So not as big a fan of that. But like we said, functional. This is a winner if you need something that's cheap.
There is a time and a place.
Yep, time and a place. I'm good.
All right, do brave deeds and endure.
Like, comment, subscribe, do all that fun stuff.